Today I want to talk about why I've upgraded to the Apple Watch Ultra. Let's be honest, I'm not going to be hiking mountains. I'm not going to be swimming to the depths of the ocean. Clearly, the Apple Watch Ultra is targeted for the adventurers. It's designed for them. Its capabilities are made so that those people that can't use a standard Apple Watch now have an option that is actually durable, that can actually go with them to all the unknown places that they go. But see, I don't fall into that category, so why would I want to upgrade to this watch? If you've been on my channel, you've probably seen this in a video. This is my Series 4 Apple Watch. And year over year, I got this when it came out, and every single year I never found a reason to upgrade to the Series 5, the 6, the 7, or even the Series 8. I've been watching the rumors, right? I've been waiting for a Pro watch. I've been waiting for a design change. I've mentioned this before. And the Apple Watch Ultra, honestly, I was so quick to order it because it was something new. I didn't know how I would feel about this watch after I got it, but I've got to say, I really love this. And I hope that after hearing all my reasons why I've upgraded or things that I love about the Watch Ultra, maybe you'll feel the same way. Now, right off the bat, when it came to unboxing the Apple Watch Ultra, honestly, I didn't do a good job recording it. I was really excited. Because if you know this channel, I only put products on this channel that I really love and care about. Like my 13 mini. It's been there again and again. Like my iPhone 12 mini. So when I was unboxing this, I was really excited, and I don't think I did a good job with the unboxing. Nor did I make a specific video because I don't really care about the views. I wanted the experience. The unboxing experience was great. It was different because this watch is different, right? So I really enjoyed it. And right when I opened the box, one of the first things I felt was how sturdy and how solid this watch is. It's made out of titanium and ceramic, and it's got a lot of heft to it. Especially if you're coming from one of the older watches, you're going to notice this right away. I also immediately noticed the larger buttons, the larger digital crown, the buttons all around. They're very easy to use and very easy to access. They're not, the buttons on my Apple Watch Series 4 now feel really small in comparison. I also really like the design of the Alpine Loop. There's a couple of bands, the Trail Loop, the Alpine Loop, and then the Ocean Band. I went for the Alpine one, and it's awesome. I think it's really comfortable, and I know a lot of people have said that it's either too tight or too loose, but for me, it actually works out perfect. But one thing that I wanted to give a go is to see what the watch would look like with my other bands. I've got the black Milanese loop, then I've got a brown leather band, I've got like a dark gray leather band. So I really wanted to see how they would look on this titanium ceramic looking color. Because I would have loved to see a black titanium watch. That would have been really nice. But I've got to say, once I put on the different bands, they looked awesome. But let's face it, a watch can look awesome. It can look great. But how does it function every single day? Does it make your life easier? Does it do anything better than what it's replacing? Because as you might know, I'm very practical with my tech. One of the things I loved right away was the larger display. 49 millimeters compared to 44 millimeters, it's a big difference. And I also thought that this might be too large, but it fits perfectly. I love how everything is easier to read. I love how tapping on different apps, it's easier to access. And the display outdoors is amazing. You will not have any trouble because it does get up to 2000 nits of brightness, which is really, really bright and really amazing that they can fit that into a smartwatch. Another thing I've really loved about the Apple Watch Ultra is the speaker. So this is the first watch that I've actually been able to carry a conversation on by just using the watch. Now, I don't typically use my Apple Watch for conversations. I always have AirPods with me, so I keep those in my ear, and that's my preferred choice for answering phone calls or listening to things. But I had to give the speakers a go because this does have dual speakers. And I've got to say that if you are taking calls on the Apple Watch Ultra, you shouldn't have any problem hearing the other person. Speaking of problems, the other thing I tested out is call quality, because that is important too. This has 3 different microphones, so it should do a better job in isolating outside noise and just focusing on your voice alone. Hey, so how's the call quality right now?
It's fine. It's good.
It's good?
I was able to hear background noise earlier, but not now.
So you don't hear the wind or the trees or anything?
No.
And I sound just like I sound like normally when I talk with the AirPods 3?
Yeah. There's not a difference.
That's awesome.
I can't tell. You're using a different device.
So if I told you I'm using my Apple Watch, would you have guessed that?
No. Because it's exactly the same the way you always talk.
So a couple of friends that called me, I actually answered the call on my Apple Watch Ultra, and I didn't even tell them because I didn't want them to have a clue. So I just kept talking to them, and midway through the conversation, I was like, hey, by the way, how does my voice sound? And they told me it sounds perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong. That's when I told them that I was talking from the Apple Watch Ultra, and even they were surprised. They were like, the quality is really good. Now, I did have a good signal on my phone, so I'm sure that plays a part into it, but having multiple microphones, they definitely took that into consideration because, again, from the perspective of an adventurer, somebody that's going to be in a mountain, it might be really windy. They're going to need better microphones so that they can actually carry a conversation with someone, right? So that is another thing I really loved. Another improvement I've really appreciated in the Apple Watch Ultra is the bigger battery. Obviously, you've got a bigger base to work with, so you can stuff in there a nice big beefy battery. You know, with my Series 4, I'm barely able to make it through the day. At the end of the day, if this doesn't go on the charger, I'm not going to be good to survive the next day. And I love to have this charged up because this, for me, tracks my activity. That is probably one of my favorite things that I like about the Apple Watch. Now with this, I don't have to worry about that because I'm getting to like 50% by the end of the day, if that, so because I have a lot of notifications turned off. I don't want to have so many notifications being pushed to my watch constantly. I only have select apps that actually send me notifications. The rest, it's just, telling me about my activity or if I do specific things, like music control sometimes and whatnot. So battery life wasn't a big issue for me, but at least with this, I don't even have to worry about throwing it on the charger. I'm pretty sure that if I was to go 2 days, I'd be able to make it through both of those days without any problem. Now, one thing I wasn't sure about was how I was going to feel about the color of this case. I would have loved to see a black because that's what I have here. I have the space gray. And what I like about that is regardless of the band that you change, they all look good. They all work, and I can make it work with different outfits. I've worn this and the Milanese loop with suits. So there's that. That's one of the things I love about it. So having this titanium, like beige, silverish looking color, I wasn't sure if it was going to work with all my bands or be able to go with me as I go through different outfits and different places. But I'm happy to report that I really love how this looks with the Milanese loop. Because the Milanese loop for me, day in, day out, is the one I love to use. And I've used it every single day with the Series 4. And if you're concerned about its durability, I've had it since I've had the Series 4. So this is a great band to choose. I love the way it looks with this titanium case. I'm sure it's going to look even better once they have a black option, which you know Apple is going to drop at some point. But for now, I really love the contrast between the two. And the orange highlights, or the orange action button and the little orange in the digital crown, I thought it would bother me, but it doesn't. I actually don't mind it whatsoever. So that was something that was actually going to probably make me return this watch if I didn't like the way the bands work. Because if I can't wear it everywhere, because I love the fact that it tracks my activity on a day-to-day basis, I like to have my Apple Watch on all the time. And if this wasn't going to fit into that scenario, it definitely would have gone back. So last but not least, should you buy the Apple Watch Ultra? Because like me, if you are also not an adventurer and just a regular Apple Watch user, is this actually worth it? You know, all the things I've loved, I find it worth it because I haven't upgraded in so many years. And because I haven't done that, and because I've been waiting, for me, buying this Apple Watch Ultra makes sense. Even more so because it works with all the bands. I like the additional functionality, the battery life, the screen size, the larger buttons, and the overall look and feel of the watch. I really think that if you fall into my case, then I think that you should go for it. I really do. I don't think that this is something that only adventurers can buy. I think that if you haven't upgraded in a long time, this can be worth it. At the least, what is always best is go out, buy it, try it out for the 2 weeks Apple gives you, and then allows you to return it. If it doesn't work out for you, you simply return it. What's funny is that even though I really quickly ordered it, I really thought that it wasn't going to work in my case. I thought I wouldn't like the look of it, the size of it. I didn't know if it was going to work with the different bands I own. But despite all my doubts, I actually really love the Apple Watch Ultra, and I highly recommend it. I really hope that the reasons I've stated have been helpful in your decision making as to whether or not the Apple Watch Ultra is the right Apple Watch for you. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up because it does help me out. I really appreciate your time. Take care, and I will see you in the next video.